Hey everybody, Stuart here. I wanted to peel out a small section of my 4-day live training for you here. I thought this particular part on interview explosion was super powerful. And I want you to make the progress that you want to make in your life and in your career. So I wanted to share this with you. How do people systematically or at all get interviews with their dream firms? How do they do it? Are they just applying online? Are they doing some sort of social media trick? Well, what it comes down to is a hiring decision depends on decision makers meeting with you one-on-one and then evaluating. And so what I want to talk about here just briefly, this is just going to be a small subset of my full training within Job Offer Roadmap. Definitely jump in and get this if you don't understand this or have this concept yet. Interview explosion is possible. It's possible to generate interviews on demand. Now let's talk a little bit about why. So if you look at an interview, what is an interview? An interview is a process of getting someone to know you, like you, and then to want to support you. Simple, right? Specifically, the support process, the support step is to the next round or give you the offer, right? That next step in that process, wherever it is for you. Now let's take a look at something else here. Let's talk about what is networking? What is one-on-one networking? Now here within my programming, we refer to networking as with decision makers and make a distinction between the juniors and the seniors. Okay, just so you're clear. We focus on networking with the decision makers because we're looking for the fastest path, the easiest path. Why introduce so many steps in the job hunt? Here, networking is also know me, get to like me, get to support me. And that support can be in the form of introductions or referrals or involvement in the interview process. You know, often what happens is when we reach out to an executive and network with them, we're going to be asking a series of questions, right? Now that they've gotten to know us and like us, how specifically can they support us? A lot of people at that step don't ask. They leave it up to the other person to decide what the support should look like, but not the people that I work with, and hopefully not you. You want to get introductions to people. You want to get introduced into the next round or the first round if there's an interview to be held. Or who is the hiring manager? You want to apply to that firm, getting some inside information just by asking, completely okay to do. So let's look at these side by side. What is networking? What is interviewing? They both, apples to apples, involve get to know me, like me, and support me. And then more specifically, that's where things are a little bit different. We see that actually networking is just a specific case of networking. Networking is the more general case because when you network, you can also be invited to the interview process or move and advance to the next interview just by having had that meeting. Networking is interviewing. If we're sitting down together or we're over video together, we're exchanging information, right? The verbal part of the information exchange can move at about 100 words per minute. That's kind of how the verbal aspect of things work. But the brain, the mind, works at around 500 words per minute. There's a big gap there. The brain is processing a lot more than just your words. What's happening? We're making an evaluation, just like you're making an evaluation of me by watching this video. There's a judgment, there's an evaluation going on. There is an interview happening even when you're networking. So will you get what you ask for in the networking process? Will somebody be willing to sell you into the firm after you meet with them? Does depend on your sales skills. So people who are a member of Job Offer Roadmap and my other trainings, of course, we go into that deeper level of implementation. For now, you should know that you can get interviews on demand. You can explode your interviews by understanding networking just a little bit better, just tuning your process a little bit more, and getting those interviews and offers just through the networking. Now that we've established that networking equals interviewing, and if you are still of the mind that networking doesn't work, I want you to change your mind on that. Networking means reaching out to the decision makers. And some people forget that. They don't realize that they can reach out to people beyond just the juniors or the recent grads or the recent alumni. We all want to work in a new team, get experience working with new people who are currently strangers to us. That's why we're doing all of this. So if that's your goal, then you would also be very interested in reaching out to those decision makers now and not pushing that process off way into the future. You don't need permission to do this. You just need to go out and get to know people, get them to know you, and get them to support you. And when you do that, you are going to make huge progress in your job hunt. You are going to have an explosion of interview opportunities. And with that additional data, we're going to be able to make that job offer predictable.